Hey everyone, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this YouTube channel, I will be documenting my 2021 no-buy year. So I'm a little nervous. This is my first time making a video for YouTube, but I wanted to talk a little bit in this video about why I wanted to do a no-buy year and why I decided to start a YouTube channel to document my no-buy year. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the rules that I have set for my no-buy year. So let's get into it. First important side note, I am not crackerjack at the whole YouTube content creation. So making videos and editing them is a skill that I am building, that I am learning about. So I'm super excited to get better at creating very well edited, well lit, awesome videos, but it's probably going to take me some time. So if you are here for incredibly tightly edited content, you might be a little disappointed. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about myself first and why I chose to start a YouTube channel to document my no-buy year. So I am obsessed with fashion, with beauty, skincare. I am definitely a very competent consumer and I just feel like I spend too much money on these things. I spend too much money on beauty. I spend too much money on clothing, on accessories and all that stuff. So I really want to be a more conscious consumer. That's kind of a general goal for myself for 2021. It's something that matters a lot to me personally because of what I do as my day job. So I'm actually a scientist and a science educator, and I'm very passionate about environmental science. And I actually teach environmental science units to my students. And in those units, we talk a lot about climate change and the detrimental effects that we are feeling that the planet is having as a result of climate change, which in part is driven, it's driven by human activity, but in part really driven by human consumption. So I just feel like, because I do talk to them about that, and because in other aspects of my life, in me and my husband's life, we've done a very good job of reducing our carbon footprint, except for me in this area of consumption for, beauty and fashion and skincare and things like that. So I feel like I really need to walk the walk. So if I'm, teaching my students about how human consumption is driving climate change and how it's really important that we take steps to mitigate that, I need to be walking that walk. And that's really probably the most important reason why I wanted to start a no-buy year for 2021. And then I also want to just develop a better relationship, a more intimate relationship with the belongings that I already have. So I already have a lot of wonderful belongings, beautiful clothing, fantastic makeup, awesome perfume, all that jazz. I don't need any more stuff. And I want to learn to cultivate a more intimate relationship with the stuff I already have, like really learn to love what I already have, work with what I already have, and get that feeling of satiation, of feeling like I have enough and that I can, make tons of awesome, gorgeous outfits out of the clothing I already do have, instead of always thinking about the next new thing I'm going to get. So that is another reason why I wanted to start the no-buy year, was to really develop a better relationship with the stuff that I already have. And this has kind of really been on my mind a lot since the pandemic started. for us here in, I live in New York. So for us here, my husband and I, the pandemic really started gaining steam in February, March of 2020. And we have, ever since that has begun, we've both been working from home and been doing a lot of focus on, the nest building and getting the home exactly like we want it, and doing a lot of remodeling. And through that process, we've also been doing a lot of purging of things that we feel like no longer serve us, that we don't want anymore, that we don't need. And I want to really get down to an edited collection of things that I love, things that make me feel very happy, and that I feel like I have everything that I need and I don't need anything else. Also, through this purging process, my husband and I have come to this realization, and part of it is, driven by the pandemic. It's hard to get rid of things in a conscious way. I mean, you can obviously just toss it in the bin and it's going to go to the landfill. And we don't want that. So, I don't want that to happen to my things. I don't want to be contributing to landfill growth. So just trying to find ways to recycle or repurpose or find a new home for items that we no longer want in the house has been a very frustrating and also rewarding process, and has also made me realize I have too much stuff. And do I really want more things to come in and then eventually be having to go through this very frustrating process of finding someplace else for them to be, other than in my home when I don't want them anymore? So that's been another thing that I've been thinking about, and why I wanted to start the No Buy Year was just to reduce the influx and to become very mindful about that, be mindful and appreciative of the things I already do have, really learn to love the things that I have, and not have this added stress of there's so much stuff coming into the house, have to purge more stuff. How are we going to get rid of that in a way that's mindful and not adding to our carbon footprint, all that jazz. So I wanted to document this journey on YouTube to really hold myself accountable. And I also want to build a little bit of a community of like-minded people who have either already done a low or no buy before, whether that be, a week, a month, a year, whatever the case may be, or maybe deciding to embark upon one. And just having a little community of like-minded people to, share resources with, little tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff. So if you have done a no or low buy situation, please leave me a comment below and let me know how it went, any thoughts about it, what really worked, what didn't. And again, and the same if you are thinking about embarking on a no or low buy year. Please leave me a comment below. Tell me why are you thinking about doing a no or low buy? What are your parameters of your no or low buy? What are the reasons why you've decided to do it? What are your rules and all that? So I would love to hear from you if you have or are going to embark in this no buy, low buy journey. Now I really got plugged into this no buy world from another YouTuber named Hannah Louise Poston. She is amazing. If you do not follow her on YouTube, you should definitely go check her out and follow her. I will link her channel down below. She is absolutely amazing. She started her YouTube channel doing a no buy. So she did a no buy for 2018 and she documented that process on YouTube. And so I've been watching all of her videos, those 2018 videos of her documenting that process to kind of get myself mentally prepared for my own no buy. And I've really been leaning on her channel very heavily as a resource for my own no buy. She then kind of transitioned that no buy into an ongoing low buy, no buy kind of lifestyle, really mindful living, mindful consuming lifestyle that I just find, I mean, that is the goal. That is what I want for myself. So when I watch her channel, I feel very inspired. She is incredibly gorgeous and super articulate. She creates the most beautiful, well-edited, curated content. So she's definitely hashtag goals. She's just amazing. What are you doing with your life if you do not follow Hannah Louise Poston? So like I said, I will link her down below. You should definitely go check out her channel because she is chef's kiss perfection, honestly. Now that I've talked a little bit about my inspiration for the channel, why I wanted to create it, how I got to the mental headspace of feeling like this was something I could do, I want to talk about my rules for the no buy. So Hannah talks a lot about why it is so important to develop clear and concise rules for your no buy that speak specifically to the areas of your life that you're wanting the no buy to address. And she gives the example of, you're setting yourself up for success by creating these very specific rules. And she gives the example of when she was preparing for her no buy at the end of 2017, she realized that she would probably need to buy a new pair of eyeglasses over the course at some point in 2018. She didn't need them immediately, but she knew that that was a purchase that was probably upcoming in the next year. So she actually wrote that into her no buy as part of her health, she had a health and wellness provision or rule, whatever you want to call it, that she could buy a new pair of glasses. And that way, when she did buy the glasses, she didn't feel like she had broken her no buy. She had maintained the rules of her no buy, and it gave that feeling of success that, you can manage the rules for your no buy so that they support you in your life. Okay, let's get into the rules of my no buy for 2021. So my first rule is no new clothes, no new skincare, no new makeup, no new accessories. Now, there are exceptions to that. So I am allowed to replace items if I don't have a suitable alternative. So for example, if I run out of all my foundation, I have no foundation left, I'm allowed to buy one bottle of foundation. I currently have 5, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to run out of any foundation for 2021, but if I did, I am allowed to buy one bottle once I've used up everything that I already have. Or if my winter coat becomes damaged beyond repair. I'm not anticipating that would happen, but if it did, if it became damaged beyond repair, I'm allowed to replace it with one winter coat. Now, I do want to say that repairing, especially for things like clothing, are going to be my first option. So if I can repair it, I need to do that first. And I have an excellent tailor that I've built a very strong relationship with, and hopefully I will be leaning on him heavily to make sure that all the clothing that I already have stays in good repair and stays in rotation and does not need to be replaced. Now, I am allowed as well to exchange items for a different size. So for example, if I bought something at the end of 2020 and it's not the right size and I need to exchange it, I am allowed to exchange it for the same item in the size that I need. So I have a few items that I bought in 2020 towards the end, and I'm still within the return/exchange window, and they don't quite fit me the way I want. So I'm trying to decide, am I going to try to get them tailored to fit my body better, or is it a situation that's, a tailor is not going to be able to fix the problem, and I just need to exchange it for a smaller size or bigger size, whatever the case may be. So I am allowed to exchange items purchased in 2020 for an item of a different size that will fit me better if I'm still within the return and the exchange window. Now, let's say I do need to buy, like we need to replace something. I'm not able to have it repaired. I do need to replace it. I want to focus on buying secondhand or used whenever possible. Obviously, like socks and underwear don't count in that you should not buy used socks or underwear. But if I have, like I said, going back to the winter coat example, if I need a new winter coat because something horrible happened to my current winter coat, I can't repair it, I don't have a suitable alternative, and I need a new winter coat, I'm going to try to source it used or secondhand first. I really want to focus on not buying new things this year. And I've even seen some hashtags going around on social media of people who are like, no new things 2021, repurpose, reuse, repair, or buy used for just about everything except the aforementioned socks and underwear. So I do want to try to buy secondhand or vintage or used as much as possible for anything that might need to be replaced that can't be repaired. This doesn't apply as much to things like makeup, although I have to say I have had really good luck on like eBay and Poshmark buying very gently used makeup products that I'm comfortable purchasing. I'm not comfortable purchasing, for example, used mascara, but for something that I am comfortable purchasing secondhand or used, I have had pretty good luck on Poshmark and eBay finding those things. So again, if I have used up all of my, blush or foundation, I'm going to look on Poshmark to find, maybe someone's selling their, swatched once or used once foundation and it wasn't the right color for them, but it's a foundation that I use and I'm all out of foundation. That is the one I should get instead of going and buying a whole new one. So buying secondhand as much as I can. Okay, so this next one is a little odd, I will admit. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail into it, only because I feel like it wouldn't be of interest to most people. Although if you are interested in knowing more about it, drop me a comment below and I will definitely talk more about it. But I am really into costuming and I go to Renaissance fairs and I attend fantasy events like masquerade balls and things like that. And so I have quite a robust costume / cosplay closet. That's an area where I definitely spend way too much money. And so my rule for that is no new cosplays or costuming for this year. I'm not allowed to buy any new cosplays or costuming for this year. And I do have some like refinements to that rule, but again, I'm not going to share those unless you're interested. And if you are, just let me know and I will, reply to your comment with more information about that. Housewares. Okay, so housewares are allowed because my husband and I are kind of in this zone of getting the house to where we want it to be. And we still have some gaps in, we need some more artwork for the walls. We need a cushion for the bench that's in our entryway, things like that. So housewares are allowed. There is a restriction on candles though, because I am obsessed with candles and I have a tendency to hoard them and collect them like way more than I need. So I have a container now that's in the bathroom that can fit about 6 standard size candles. And right now it's full. So I'm not allowed to buy any new candles unless they will fit in that basket. And it can't be like stacked on top. It has to fit in the basket, like sitting on the bottom of the basket. And this may seem like kind of a frivolous rule, like a frivolous thing to allow myself to buy for my 2021 no buy year. However, we have 3 cats and I've always loved animals. I love pets. I love cats. In fact, if you love cats, if you love pets, you can talk about your pets anytime you want on my YouTube channel. I am always down to talk about animals here. But I don't like that pet smell that you go into a house and they have a lot of animals, and there's that kind of odor from the animals, like litter box odor and things like that. I'm not a fan of that. It like my brain just short circuits when I smell that. So no, like I said, no candles unless they can fit in the basket, but I am allowed to buy them if they can't fit in the basket, because I use candles to help, along with other things, keeping my house clean and stuff like that. But I use candles to help ease my mind that my house doesn't smell like a litter box. So that's the whole housewares rule. And then I have like a health and wellness rule where I am allowed to purchase things for my health and wellness. So for example, one of my rules, which is the next rule, is no subscription. So I've actually discontinued all of my subscriptions. I had like a Birchbox subscription and a Mighty Nest subscription, a Pettivore box subscription. So all of those subscriptions I have now canceled. However, I am keeping my Yoga Glow subscription and my Bali Beautiful subscription. Those are my like workout subscriptions, and I do use them for my health and wellness. So I'm allowed to spend money on my health and wellness. I'm allowed to keep subscriptions if I use them and they're for my health and wellness. If I need new running shoes, because I do run several times a week, and I'll be training for another race in June, I am allowed to buy new running shoes. If I need a new pair of running shorts, because my running shorts are blown out, I need to have a certain number of pair to get me through the week, I'm allowed to buy a new pair of running shorts. If it's for health and wellness, I am allowed to spend money on that. I can obviously spend money on prescriptions and co-pays and medical care, although those will typically come out of my FSA and not like just my checking account. I mean, obviously that does come out of my paycheck, but it's not something that's like coming out of the money that just goes into my checking account after all of, everything that's taken out pre-tax is taken out. So that is my health and wellness rule. Already kind of discussed the subscriptions rule. So we've already dumped all of our subscriptions that were either not using or are stuff. Like I had a candle subscription, I canceled that. We are keeping our entertainment subscriptions that we use. So I went through all of our entertainment subscriptions. We had quite a few of them, like Disney Plus, Netflix, ESPN Plus, that one's my husband's, and some others. And we went through the ones that we use, and so we're keeping those. So we're keeping a few of those. The others we've already canceled. So we're allowed to keep entertainment subscriptions that we use. We're allowed to keep health and wellness, or I should say I'm allowed, because my husband's not really doing the no-buy. So I am allowed to keep entertainment subscriptions that I use, and I'm allowed to keep fitness, wellness subscriptions that I use, but nothing else outside of that. Nothing that's going to be bringing more objects into the house. So none of that. I can buy gifts for people, birthdays and celebrations, holidays and things like that. So I'm allowed to buy gifts, and I'm allowed to receive gifts. And I am also allowed to use gift cards. So if someone gave me a gift card, I have a couple that I received from the holidays last year, I am allowed to spend those and buy things, but I can't go over the amount on the gift card. So, if, let's say I have a $25 gift card and the thing that I want is $30, I can't get that thing. It has to be $25 or like I cannot spend anything above the exact amount that's on the gift card. And that's it. So those are all of my 2021 no-buy rules that I've thought of so far. I will let you know if I add anything to the list. I've been kind of racking my brain thinking about all of the areas where I spend money in my life. And I feel like those rules kind of encompass everywhere that I'm really spending way too much money on in my life. If you have any rules or any thoughts about those rules, please let me know in the comments below. If you are doing a no buy or low buy year, please let me know what your rules were. If that, that situation is already passed for you, or if you're getting ready to do one, please let me know what your rules are. I would love to hear about them. Like I said, I would love to be a part of a little community here with this and kind of learn from others and get ideas and resources from other people. So would love to hear from you in any regards as far as rules for a no buy or a low buy year. And that is about it. So until next time, thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe to this video, or subscribe to my channel. I guess I should say, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video at all, and if you are interested in more no buy content. I have a lot of great ideas for videos I could create, like monthly check-ins, like in the middle of the month and at the end of the month. Videos I could create, like monthly check-ins, like in the middle of the month and at the end of the month. Videos about things I really wanted to buy, but I couldn't, I didn't because I'm in a no buy year. Kind of shop my stash videos. I've also been thinking about doing like a project pan. I know that those are really popular on YouTube. A couple of the YouTube creators that I follow are doing project pans for 2021. So I've been toying around with the idea of doing a project pan as well, because it seems like a very good fit with a no buy year. And then also thinking about empties videos. So I'm also planning some empties videos. If any of those sound good to you, please subscribe. I would love to have you. All right, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.